Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. Well, Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred gave his State of the State address as far as baseball is concerned to the Baseball Writers Association of America before the All-Star game. He touched on several topics, which I wrote about in the Dan on Sports newsletter. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm going to talk about television for just a moment because that is obviously an area of concern for baseball, especially since ESPN has opted out of its contract with 3 years left to go, costing baseball $1.5 billion in revenue that they're going to have to somehow make up. But the point of this story is a survey that has come out by Nielsen, that's the company that does the ratings. For the first time ever, less than 20% of people watch their television by way of over-the-air channels, OTA, meaning the old-fashioned way of an antenna on the roof or rabbit ears. You might laugh and say, haven't watched television that way in years, but you would be surprised in the densely populated areas where all you need are a set of rabbit ears to watch an over-the-air channel that you can still consume your TV that way. But for the first time ever, it's now under 20%, which means people are viewing their content in other ways. Cable television, by the way, down to 23% and change, just 23% plus, a little over 23.8, someplace in that area, consume their viewing content by way of cable. It's all streaming. Streaming is up to 46%. That's why the baseball commissioner talked about streaming and how baseball really has to be proactive in the way of streaming, why ESPN is doing streaming, why all of these networks are now streaming, because that's how the younger demo is consuming their sports, consuming all of their entertainment, whether you're talking about sports, YouTube, you name it. That's how I'm consuming a lot of it, by streaming. And this is what has sports concerned because it changes the revenue paradigm from you have to pay for all sports channels to get the sports channel you want to a la carte, which has always been the big cable companies' fear. And that's why regional sports networks are now in trouble. But that's my point. The point is this Nielsen survey seems to buttress what the commissioner has said. People are consuming their content other ways, not by way of over-the-air or, for that matter, cable. Now, that said, the area which really saved over-the-air television in June, believe it or not, and these are June numbers that I'm giving you, the NBA. NBA Finals helped to drive the over-the-air consumption closer to that 20% figure. Otherwise, it might have even been lower. So this is an interesting, I'm going to put up the graphic right here, and you'll get a better idea of what the Nielsen survey shows for June. But there's the graphic, and that's why, whether you're talking about Rob Manfred or pick your sports commissioner, they are concerned because particularly the younger demo, and those are the people who buy the products that the advertisers sell, that the advertisers advertise on these sports events. The younger demo is consuming their content in other ways, and you've got to go where the eyeballs are. That's going to do it for Dan on Sports. Thanks for watching. Maybe you're watching it by way of streaming. That's really the only way you'd be able to get it, but you can also listen to it in podcast form. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and see you later.